things we've been through, that I'll be standing right here talking to you about another path. I know we love to hit the road and laugh, but something told me that it wouldn't last. Had to switch up, look at things different, see the bigger picture. Those were the days, hard work forever pays. Now I see you in a better place.
So that was my recent trip to Miami, and that was Captain Quincy, the legendary Captain Quincy, at the helm, and having a good time on the yacht there. And I guess somebody tried to mimic me and try to plan some luxurious festivity in a private island in the Bahamas. Now, before I get into this fiasco that ended up having a lot of wealthy people on this private island in conditions that have been quoted as, such as living like a Syrian refugee for $12,000. So spending $12,000 to live like a Syrian refugee on this private island. How did things go so wrong? What on earth happened? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today, about the Fire Festival fiasco. That's 3 F's. Anyway, take a look at the dream, and then we'll look at the actual reality that came after the dream. So here it is. This is what was promised.
The actual experience exceeds all expectations and is something that's hard to put into words. She looks amazing. You guys that are listening, you guys and gals that are listening, click on that like button. I really appreciate it. Click on that like button. Not for my ego. This is YouTube. It's an interactive community. It supports the channel, and it lets YouTube know that you enjoy the content. So please, I really appreciate it. Just takes you a second. Just click on that like button. Every single person who is listening in right now, click on the like button. And now to the Fire Festival fiasco. All these things that may seem big and impossible are not. It gives people that type of energy, that type of power.
They are definitely pushing the hot babes angle. I mean, the amount of beautiful women that they're putting in this promotion. So clearly, I would expect to be getting my money's worth. I'm spending $12,000. And for that, I'm going to be hanging out and partying with these babes. Oh, how could this go wrong? How on earth could this go wrong? Well, that's why we're here. Everybody click on the like button. Appreciate it. Let's go. Did you see the marketing strategy here? Did you see what they're promoting? Let's make it get the freeze frame on that. Once owned by Pablo Escobar. that's their marketing thing. Oh man, I'm gonna go to this thing. It's on a private island that used to be owned by actually, I don't think it was Pablo Escobar, but let's look at Pablo Escobar. Who is Pablo Escobar? Pablo Escobar is, according to Wikipedia, he is a drug lord. Let's pull him up here. Let's take a look at the person who used to, I believe they're saying used to own that particular island, that private island. So here he is, the wonderful Pablo Escobar, drug lord. So let's see, 1993, a Colombian drug lord and narco-terrorist. Terrorist. His cartel supplied an estimated 80% of the cocaine smuggled into the United States at the height of his career, turning over $21.9 billion a year in personal income. So it's nice of us to know that we're going to be partying in an island that was once owned by Pablo Escobar. I don't think this is a music festival. I think this is a babe festival. It's nothing but babes. It's babes, beaches, and just that's what it is. Babes and beaches, man. Somebody might say beaches pronounced a different way. Anyway, 5 more people just joined the live stream. Every single one of you guys, click on the like button. You just joined the live stream. Click on the like button. I appreciate it. And now let's get back to babes and beaches, or beaches and babes. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, there's a music festival behind all of this? I thought it was just going to be babes and beaches. So it's babes, beaches, and also there might be some musical performances. Maybe Ja Rule might be there. Oh, you guys are going to want to stick around. This thing is insane. Insane. The stuff that went down, the $250,000 Instagram, I want to say tweet, post. I mean, it's absolutely going to blow your mind, this whole thing. $12,000 to go live like a Syrian refugee on this island that used to be owned by Pablo Escobar. Yeah. Okay, so that is the Fire Festival. So I'm going to go over a little bit about what the Fire Festival is, and we're going to go into much more detail about the nonsense that went down. There's more people watching than people who clicked on the like button. Once again, if you're just joining in now, click on the like button. Really appreciate it. So the Fire Festival was this amazing event that seemed to be have been thought of at the last minute. And actually, it doesn't seem to be. It actually was thought up at the last minute. This event was thought of, I believe it was October or August 2016. And shortly after, it was tweeted out or posted out, hey, we're going to do this big thing, this Fire Festival thing. And then the actual, it came close to the time of the actual event. And basically what happened is that the guys who were planning this event, they basically ran out of money. They spent all this money on yachts and models and all this nonsense and promotional. I mean, I think Kim Kardashian was involved in this. Kim Kardashian, $250,000 post to promote this event. All this money, just money spent like crazy. Then it comes close to the time of the event and the actual necessities, like, where do people go to the bathroom, when they need to do a number 1 or number 2, where are they going to stay? How are you going to get the stuff on the island? How are you going to, just basic logistics completely missed, and all the money just dumped into marketing and promotion for this thing. And now the event's about to happen and you don't have much money left and people are about to show up. So what do? You slap something together with some bubble gum and some I don't know, some popsicle sticks or whatever, and then you end up with this event where you have all these very wealthy people on this private island that are like, what the hell is going on? What is going on? Like, we're living in these tents. We're getting cheese sandwiches. I mean, it's okay. All right. again, you guys that are joining, click on the like button. Let's get into the nitty gritty. So basically, here's the deal. So 1 month before, thousands of well-heeled millennials were set to descend on a remote island in the Bahamas for the Fire Festival to frolic on yachts and rub elbows with models and hear acts like Blink 182, Major Lazer. The organizers had a big problem. They were running low on cash, and the festival lacked fundamental necessities like toilets and showers, for example, and they were running out of time. One supplier told Vice News that when they were contacted by the festival in April, they told the organizers that all the money in the world wouldn't get trailers for toilets and showers past customs in time, because that takes weeks to process. So it became beyond a matter of money. They're saying that no matter how much money that you provide, it's not going to cover. It's not happening. It's just not enough time. There's not enough time. It's not a factor of money. You could have $1 billion, $1 trillion. There's certain things that just take time, and there's no way around it. Just to give you a little bit of analogy, you could have $2 trillion in the bank. You're not going to be able to bake a turkey in less than 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I don't care how much money you have. It takes time to bake a turkey. It's not going to happen in less than 5 minutes. It's just how it is. They're not going to be able to get the stuff they needed in the time allotted. They just waited too long, and they spent too much money and time focusing on models and yachts and all this promotional stuff, and the necessities were neglected. I mean, this is absolutely an absolute failure. The festival was scheduled over 2 weekends in late April and early May. There was no infrastructure to even support the equipment. They didn't even have a loading dock. They had no understanding of what vehicles were on the island to even move the stuff off the ship once it got there, said the supplier. They said stuff like, don't worry about customs. It's only for a weekend. You don't have to worry about customs. Like, okay, you didn't have to worry about customs. Cool story, bro. Sounds like a Donald Trump moment here. Anyway, it turns out customs was something Billy Fairland, Fire Festival's 25-year-old founder, 25-year-old founder should have worried about. On Saturday, Bahamian officials shut down the ill-fated site. Customs has the area on lockdown because Billy has not paid customs duty taxes on items that he imported. The Bahamian Ministry of Tourism said in a statement obtained by ABC, by then the festival had at least one toilet trailer and a cluster of porta potties, but the ticket holders were long gone from the site, which some compared to a refugee camp, in part because of the luxury tents, which were similar to FEMA tents. Now, once again, you have very wealthy people that paid a lot of money to go to this event, and they're describing this thing as FEMA tents. Now, you guys can read more about this. I'll put a link in the chat. Once again, if you're just now joining, click on the like button. Definitely appreciate that. Let's go to Twitter and see what's being said about this debacle. Anyway, so here we go. Rich kids be like, if the poor weren't lazy. I love that if poor weren't lazy. There's lots of lazy people in this world, regardless of how much money you have or make. But growing up without money versus growing up with money, completely different. There's some factors that it's not about laziness, because when you have you're coming from money, you can take a lot of risks that somebody who doesn't come from money cannot take. So while you're out there going out and doing this and trying that and all this kind of stuff, not really worrying about the risks of failure. I mean, obviously you worry to some degree, but not worried like someone who's like, wow, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to be homeless. My kids are going to be on the street. Like, it's not the same thing at all. But anyway, rich kids be like, if the poor weren't lazy and started working, they'd be rich. At the Fire Festival, Daddy... He says, at the Fire Festival, Daddy, send help. My sandwich is weird. So I think what he's trying to say is he's making fun of it. He's saying basically, making fun of the stupid things people say, like if poor people weren't lazy. So if poor people weren't, this is like some sort of ignorant wealthy person saying this, right? If poor person weren't lazy and started working, they'd be rich. And then as a result, look at how they could be living. They could be at this disaster fire festival, tweeting, "Daddy, send help. My sandwich is weird," because I heard they had like cheese sandwiches or something. Yeah. Anyway, and the rich kids at Fire Festival will look up and shout, "Save us!" And I will whisper, "Trickle down economics." Okay, so the Fire Festival blames the wind for knocking tents down. Guess wind turned cabanas. What the hell, cabanas? I'm actually gonna just say cabanas instead of cabanas. Cabanas into FEMA tents and luxury food into cheese sandwiches. $12,000 for cheese sandwiches. Brought to you by the Fire Festival 2017. Fire Festival, where capital kids were sent to the arena to have a taste of their entertainment. Happy Hunger Games, says Carolina Espinoza. Espinoza, are you related to Pablo Escobar? Oh, that's kind of racist. Anyway, Nick Setti says President Trump has appointed the Fire Festival promoter Billy McFarland as his new special White House advisor on organizational affairs. Awesome sauce. Favorite thing about the Fire Festival, how everyone keeps hating on that plate of food when it looks better than most school lunches in the United States. That's pretty embarrassing, but I'm sure that's probably true. Rich white people pay $12,000 to live like Syrian refugees and then complain about it on social media. Look at this guy, Josh, random guy. This is actually pretty golden. You guys, in the description, there's a link to my new channel. My channel is being censored by YouTube. I've basically been ghost banned, where about 95% of my subscribers do not see my videos when I post them. So I'm starting a new channel, and I have a new strategy to deal with the nonsense. So please support the content in the channel by subscribing to Carlisle's Picks The Rebirth. Link is in the description. Okay. Another person just joined the live stream. Click on the like button. I do appreciate that. So this guy's funny. He says, "I got my ticket in a raffle at work. Thought it'd be cool. Didn't have much in the way of expectations. But yeah, watching rich people freak out because their luggage was being handled roughly or they were slightly dehydrated. Oh, it was like chicken soup for my middle-class soul. Best weekend of my life." And look at the photo. Look at the photo. This is insane. $12,000. It does look like a Syrian refugee camp. I mean, this is an absolute disaster. Everyone mad at the festival didn't have food and water. Hasn't had clean water in 3 years. Where's the influencers for outrage? All right. I hope this swimsuit getaway is something like Fire Festival, and instead everyone gets cheese sandwiches in the mail. Wow. The fact that these rich kids aren't making fire to at least grill their cheese sandwiches shows the level of incompetence. Fire Festival. So that pretty much was the Fire Festival, which it looks to me like it took them less than a year to plan this thing. Let's look at the promotional video. Here's the Fire Festival YouTube channel. The video got 2.5 million views. It has 8,600 dislikes, 1,198 likes. We can look at the comments. Okay, so here's the budget breakdown, everybody. Listen up. This is what you want to do when you want to plan an epic event. Unlike my trip to Miami, which didn't quite have these kinds of problems. And again, Chrome is screwing the pooch. Trying to zoom in, and it's doing all kind of weird stuff. All right, so here's the budget. 98% social media, 2% tents and sandwiches. Seems legit. 2% tents and sandwiches. 95% social media. All right. Let's see what else people are saying about this. So top comments. I work in the startup sector. And sadly, too much tech startup companies do this too. They're more concerned about making their websites and apps look sexy, hiring influencers, promotions, slick videos, SEO optimization, than actually building a useful product. I actually am a victim of that. Not me doing it personally, but I actually worked for startups quite some long time ago, and I was in the entertainment business. Few of you know that. I've not really shared that with many people at all. Not that I'm hiding it. I'm just not the type of person who, like Ty Lopez, needs to be name dropping and bragging about what you've done and whatever. But if I wanted to do that kind of name dropping and bragging, I could do it a lot better than Ty Lopez himself did, because in the beginning he was just dropping names. But we were actually literally, rubbing shoulders, whatever the expression is, with major celebrities. I mean, just for example, Forrest Whitaker was one of them, and I'm not going to go into the whole bunch of names, but many major celebrities were our clients. And I'd be in the office, and big name person, Jennifer Lopez, another name, would be right there in the office. So, but my point is, it was a startup company, and man, oh man, did we spend a lot of money. I mean, I'll give you one example. We rented Ellis Island. We rented the entire island. We had this big party. It sounds kind of familiar. It wasn't a disaster like that, though. It was a disaster in terms of the wasted money, but the event was cool. It was a success as far as the actual event. It was just like, whoa. I mean, the amount of money spent on that, and then, of course, the company went out of business, I think like a year later or something. But anyway, we rented Ellis Island. We had all these celebrities that we invited to it, and it was a really cool event. A lot of really cool things, really slick, and the website was slick and everything. But apparently, the product, there were some issues with that. Anyway, plain cheese sandwiches. Right. Thumbs up if you came here for the comment section. 278 likes. Wow, once owned by a drug dealer gangster, so it must be cool. 258 likes. Pablo Escobar's ex-island? Good, it was a failure. Good, it was a failure. Dude killed an undisclosed number of victims. How can people glamorize this? How can they glamorize it? Oh, this island used to be owned by Pablo Escobar, the guy who killed tons and tons of people. Yeah. Let's use that as a promotional element for our event. The actual experience exceeds our expectations. I guess that was true. Yep. Where my good millennials at? The ones who work full time, love their family, can stand on their own 2 feet, independent thinkers, the ones who don't need no celebs or models to deceive and manipulate their minds. 425 likes. Since they are using a narco-terrorist to promote their event, I can tell that it will be a great event for morons. Well, it's past tense. But anyway, Hunger Games, Catching Fire. All right. Actually, that might actually be a pretty cool movie to do. Yeah, so yeah, it was absolutely a disaster. As we can see, this is their YouTube channel. They posted this video. What was the actual date of the event? Because this video was posted on January 12th, so this year, 113 days ago. And let's look at the end of this. Limited availability. It doesn't say. It doesn't say much information about where it's going to be. Let's take a look at this. This should be interesting. Very good question being asked here.
Think you're having, boy, oh boy, if you think you're having a bad day, just be glad you aren't Ja Rule or one of the hundreds of millennials with more money than sense that he conned into a music festival on a private island in the Bahamas that was, they swear, once owned by Pablo Escobar. This is the strange, sad, fucked up tale of the Fire Music Festival. Welcome to News Dump.
music festivals, aside from the whole waiting in line to get in stuff and potentially getting your phone stolen stuff, are supposed to be a great time for everyone who shares either their absolute love for live music or absolute love of drugs and partying.
Yeah, man.
Regardless, everyone comes together to enjoy it, but for a select few high-profile celebrities, Instagram stars, and again, millennials with expendable income, they just learned the hard way that some things are actually too good to be true.
No.
Can you believe
A
it?
promo video on the internet wasn't real.
But I've been having everything go perfectly my entire life.
I'm white and I live in America. Well, the festival itself was being put together by early 2000s hip-hop star Ja Rule and a shady entrepreneur named Billy McFarland, who has had his fair share of problems with consumers in the past. It was labeled as the ultimate exclusive festival experience, buzzwords, where they would take over a private island for a few days of music, fun in the sun, elegant amenities, and luxurious sleeping quarters. Prices that range anywhere from $4,000 to $12,000, and it went up from there. They booked headliners like Designer, Blink-182, Major Lazer, Migos, and so on. And it was being promoted by people like Kendall Jenner, who seriously can't seem to catch a fucking break aside from being born into an extremely wealthy family that likes Pepsi. But what Fyre Festival has turned into has been described as hell on earth and a complete...
Do you recall not long ago when you would walk on the sidewalk? Innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other. But the night was warm, we were bold and young. All around, the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Focus, fire gun, we need someone to...
You're watching Carlisle's Picks. Go ahead and click on that like button. I definitely appreciate it. And click on the link in the description to subscribe to my new channel, Carlisle's Picks: The Rebirth.
Damn.
Hey, George, good morning to you. Those concert goers coming here to Miami all weekend long.
Festival hit with a class action lawsuit from concert goers who spent thousands of dollars for what was supposed to be a luxury weekend of food, art, and music in the Bahamas. Didn't turn out quite that way. ABC's Gio Benitez in Miami with the details. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, George, good morning to you. Those concert goers coming here to Miami all weekend long. The event's co-founder, Ja Rule, says it's not his fault, but that he's deeply sorry. It was billed as a lavish, one-of-a-kind music festival for an elite millennial crowd, with weekend ticket packages running from $1,500 to $12,000. But this morning, the organizers of the failed Fyre Festival are feeling the heat.
We had no electricity, there was no showers, there was no bathrooms, there was no running water.
The actual experience exceeds all expectations.
The expectation, luxurious accommodations. The reality, more like a disaster relief campsite. A secluded private island getaway? Nope, just minutes away from a Sandals resort on Great Exuma, Bahamas, and the gourmet meals provided by celebrity caterer Steven Starr exchanged for these plain cheese sandwiches and salad after the chef backed out. One attendee posting to Twitter, "This is how Fyre Festival handles luggage. Just drop it out of a shipping container at night."
It was basically the exact opposite of everything we were promised.
Girl, you know better.
Rapper Ja Rule and entrepreneur Billy McFarland co-founded the event, charging thousands of dollars.
A big storm came through and busted our water system and affected half of the housing tents.
But warning signs reportedly coming weeks earlier. One of the festival's producers telling New York Magazine when she arrived 6 weeks ago, festival vendors weren't in place, no stage had been rented, transportation had not been arranged. Blink-182 pulling out of the event a mere day before the start, tweeting, "We're not confident that we would have what we need to..."
You'll be on trip on a custom VIP configured Boeing 737 aircraft between Miami International Airport and Exuma International Airport on Great Exuma. Guests will be staying in modern, eco-friendly, geodesic domes. What the fuck does geodesic mean? Relating to or denoting the shortest possible line between 2 points on a sphere or other curved surface. Wow. Okay, guys, so look, there was a festival, a music festival, which was going to be going down tomorrow.
Let me give you a look.
It's apparently fallen into absolute chaos. It turns out that this was going to be a massive festival with something like, I think a one-day ticket was $450, and I think the whole package was like hundreds of $1,000s. I don't want to even say how much it costs, because I think I'll insult my own moral precepts. But oh man, and this festival has just fallen apart, especially these geodesic domes, which was supposed to be the beautiful accommodation that was going to be at this festival, which apparently turns out to be basically like emergency shelter tents. Those like big white ones that you have at like refugee camps, UN-sponsored refugee camps. Well, it looks like people are using the same thing for this festival, and it's right now that all of these very rich people who are going to be attending this festival, all these people who love culture, they love music and culture, and they've got a lot of money, these people have just discovered that the festival is at best absolutely incompetent, and at worst actually kind of a scam. And there's already been a few articles where people are throwing the S word about. Oh man, and it's just funny to
Let me give you a look at, first of all,
not long ago, when you would walk on the sidewalk, innocent, remember, all we did was care for each other, but the night was warm,
let me give you a look at, first of all, what was supposed to have happened, Michael. This is a video showing various models and very, very strong cultural influencers on social media. I'm talking about people like Hailey Baldwin, Bella Hadid, Emily Ratajkowski. These are models that have a lot of influence and millions of followers online. They said, come with us, come to this trip. It will be the best of everything. Think of every music festival like Coachella, but on a super high-end luxe kind of level. Fast forward to today, and this, what we're seeing, it was supposed to be over 2 weekends. Hours and hours of people caught up in airports, hours without food, without water, even security guards locking the doors and not letting them leave, luggage being mishandled, and just a lot of issues with number one problem, security. They could not guarantee the tents that they promised to people, so they didn't have sleeping accommodations. And on top of all of this, the performers that were set to be there, cancellations. Blink 182, the headliners, not going to play, and then they eventually canceled all of the acts, including Tyga and other rappers. And so you're getting a look now at some of the accommodations, so-called accommodations. They really did not have enough for a lot of people. And what's happening online, Michael, is that we're seeing a mix. Some people commenting that they're kind of having fun watching people who are affluent suffer, and other people saying that's not right. Let's take a look at one tweet in particular. I can't figure out what Fire Festival is, but it seems like rich people having a bad time, which I fully support. Well, then you have someone who was actually there sending out tweets like this. We have been locked indoors with no air, no food, and no water. People are fainting, and all you can make are rich kid jokes. So there you see clearly the discord that's happening.
So how are organizers explaining what's happened here?
Well, with a very lengthy statement that doesn't really get down to the nugget of it all. I'm going to give you a look.
open, just admit it. See, it gave you faith, turn your doubt into hope, and can't deny it. Now I'm all alone.
Our next guest was at the fire.
Open. Tell me here, where are you now that I need you? Where are you now?
The Fire Festival. Her name is Elise Dharma. She's a Canadian who lives in Toronto. Next guest was at the Fire Festival. Her name is Elise Dharma. She's a Canadian who lives in Toronto, and she traveled to the festival to ring in her birthday with some friends. We're reaching out to her right now in Miami, where she arrived last night after attending the festival for just one night. So thank you for joining us, Elise. What were the conditions like at that party?
Yeah, the conditions were basically the exact opposite of our expectations and what we thought we booked back in December, January. You know, we were told it would be a private island in the Bahamas, there would be private jets, and we would be in housing, I think they called it a lodge. We would be in housing that would fit 8 people. So we got a group of, 8 friends together, and the reality was a stark contrast to what we were expecting. We weren't expecting to camp in tents. We weren't expecting, the lack of organization, the acts canceling. I think they told us we were going to have gourmet food trucks there or something along those lines. And I have to give credit to the staff because they did the best that they could with probably all that they had to do. And they were trying to keep everyone's spirits up, but it was definitely a unique experience overall.
Well, we're getting reports of you say that there was no luxury or gourmet food, but we're also getting reports there weren't even basic needs. There wasn't enough water, there wasn't enough lodgings, there wasn't enough security. We're also hearing stories of looting that happened there. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I saw aspects of all of that. In some ways, it was kind of a free-for-all. There was no organization when it came to the accommodation. They had us in a line when we first got there. And then all of a sudden, one guy just yelled to the crowd, "Hey, if you signed up for lodging, go grab a tent." And so everyone literally ran with their bags to find a tent. When we got to the tents, we discovered that they were soaking. I guess they had set the tents up in the morning when it rained. And so when you stepped on the carpet inside, you'd have a puddle of water around your foot. For me, I'm an entrepreneur. I knew I'd be working from the Bahamas during the weekend, so I was expecting some level of security for my belongings. I had my laptop and my camera, but their idea of security was basically a set of lockers in the middle of our tent city next to a porta potty. Luckily, I had brought a padlock, so I was able to lock my things up in the middle of the night, but I did wake up in the middle of the night to go grab them because I felt too worried about them being in the middle of all this madness. So, yeah, there were a lot of things that weren't there. Like, there was no power, no electricity in the tents, obviously. My experience, we did have plenty of water. There was enough water at the food tent. There was really
You need a website. Why not do it yourself? Go to Wix.com.
Promotional video sure made it look tempting. Top supermodels like Bella Hadid and Alessandra Ambrosio in an ad for a music festival on an island in the Bahamas. Singer Ja Rule, one of the organizers, promised history will be televised. Fans paid up to $12,000 expecting 5-star accommodations and gourmet food. This is what they got. Disaster relief tents and mattresses piled up in the dirt.
Well, those are your mattresses.
There are reports of feral dogs roaming the grounds. As for that gourmet food, here it is, a cheese sandwich in a styrofoam box. Now, total chaos has erupted. Fans are fleeing the fire festival on emergency flights out of the Bahamas. Some Americans complained of being locked inside the terminal.
They are chained in.
Others reported being stuck on the tarmac for hours.
We're gonna have to deplane everybody.
They locked us in the airport, with a chain. No water, no food.
I spoke to these kids after they finally landed in Miami. How bad was it?
Yeah, it was a disaster. Absolute disaster.
Oh my. And these were not nice tents. These were like disaster relief tents?
Yeah, and a storm had hit the night before, so the beds were soaking wet.
The main festival was supposed to have kicked off on the Bahamian island of Great Exuma. A burst water pipe added to the problems. Things got so crazy, the headline band, Blink-182, pulled out. After the firestorm of complaints and headlines like Rich Kids of Instagram meets The Hunger Games, the organizers canceled the festival due to circumstances out of our control. They say, "We are working tirelessly to get flights scheduled and get everyone off Great Exuma and home safely."
It looked like a refugee camp.
That's absolutely insane. But that is the Fire Festival, brought to you by Ja Rule. What's his song he always used to sing? I'm thinking in the back of my mind, like, it's murder. I can't even, I'm not going to do a Ja Rule impression. I can't do a Ja Rule impression. Thank you for joining in on this live stream brought to you by Carlisle's Picks. Definitely subscribe to my new channel, Carlisle's Picks Rebirth, in the description box. And everyone who watched the stream, go ahead and click on the like button. I definitely appreciate that. Much more content coming. Going to be doing, as always, product reviews, cars, jets, motorcycles, technology. Pretty much sharing my passions with you, recommending top products, and always trying to also keep the entertainment value as well, because life is too short to not smile a lot. That's my new slogan. No, it's not. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I got things to do. I am hungry right now, so I gotta go get my cheese sandwich from my tent and go watch whoever is going to be performing at this this Fire Festival. Fire Festival is on fire. All right. Anyway, on that note, thank you for watching, everyone. Have an awesome sauce weekend. And thanks for the thumbs up. Really appreciate the likes. And see you guys soon. Be safe. Ride safe, drive safe, live safe, and smile. This is Carlisle's Picks. Feels solid on the road. Transmission is super smooth. You're watching Carlisle's Picks and your fast life. Car